guys Legos. Bricks and toys.
All right, toy fans. So I initially was going to record the build of this, and there's a part of me that I'm glad that I didn't actually build the actual set on camera, because it did not go quite the way I wanted to. I'm actually thinking I might try this company one more time just to see, kind of like with the Lux blocks. I tried it twice and was like, all right, kind of this is where I'm at, right? So this is an Amazon thing that I got. Company is called Cobi, and they specialize predominantly in these vehicles. Minifigs are interesting, kind of not our standard, though they are sized with other minifigs, but they're different. Okay, now a lot of this from this line is called Action Town, and they specialize in VW buses. That is their whole thing, their whole shtick. Now they, I believe, are out in the in Europe. So, and I want to say this, like, I know that the booklets and all the printing is done in the EU. There's probably a good chance that the toys themselves are also built and designed probably in like Germany or something, which is probably why they have Volkswagen. But I will go ahead and say this set has got some cool things going for it, but then there are some things that I think that they should definitely fix. Like I said, I'll try probably one more set. There's another one I was looking at, and I'm gonna try it and see, and then we'll kind of have to make a decision on that. Now, the picture is a little bit of a ruse here, and I say that because, you know, you've got the bicycle, these things up on top, him holding the board. Some of this stuff is not actually the case. So let's look at the box, break all this down, and then we will talk about it. So this is, of course, the Volkswagen T2a Kombi, 292 parts, 2 minifigs, 1 pet, 24617 is the number of the set, made by Cobi, this company up there. It is a officially licensed product, so that's something to keep in mind. So you've got stuff all over every side. You've got this 1-to-1 scale here for the minifig. You can kind of see what it looks like. No stickers. Everything is pad printed, which I thought was, well, that's cool. I'm glad that they do that. Not all companies do have that printing ability. But this is it is a 1/35 scale car, so technically at a 1/35 scale car it should be, I think, 6 studs wide, if I've done my math correctly. So we'll look into that as we get into it. It is a 1972 to 1979 Germany production Cobi Volkswagen van. It's a minibus. It's got all this info about the actual bus. It is made in Poland, so that's where it's made, Poland. Yep. Other than that, just a whole bunch of legalese on the bottom, and that's the box. Now the box is pretty big. I mean, you could display that up, put stuff in front of it. I think where we need to look at is we need to be looking at the booklet. Now, this is the booklet that they come with. Pretty much everything that we've seen on the box. You've got how to put the minifigs together is on the back. It's not actually inside the instructions, which I thought was kind of weird. You've got this setup here. It says 1, but this is not true. And I say that because it is broken into many pieces. You've got parts listing here, and unfortunately it's not all the parts. The rest of the parts are actually inside here. So there's quite a bit, 292 pieces. there's some problems with this. And I think the reason why I say there's problems is that, they do the gray outs, which is fine. So it's got grayed out, what parts you're putting in. This is great. But they've got some things here that don't seem to make a lot of sense. Like it says to flip this over, but we get it like kind of at the bottom of this. So it's like we have this. Their emblem should be between there to say flip it this way. There's also one direction where everything is, and there's not a lot of turning this in different directions. And that was kind of a big thing for me, because as I am starting to learn how to make directions for like little things and all that, having different angles and possibly even seeing it from the top, depending on what you have, is key. Absolutely key. Other things, this portion right here, the way that these plates hold on there is not very good. It is actually very, very tough to get those to sit. And then you're still putting stuff on top of it later on, and I found that whole ceiling collapses a lot. Distinguishing these window panels is a little tough, I'm not gonna lie. And then when we get up here for all the luggage, it's like I like the fact that we have the luggage here, but this luggage is not double stackable. So when you see the luggage on the bus in the picture, it's a bit of a lie. Other things in this, there's no doors, there's nothing that indicates that this is playable. It really does feel very much like a model, and a model as it is kind of fragile. Now when you get up to step 33, this plate right here, so I thought that this was square. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, if you get it, and I would encourage you to, if you get it for cheap, get it, but be wary. This is actually an 8x9. This is not an 8x8. And this threw me for a loop, because as I was building this, I had this plate turned the wrong way. Who makes 8x9 plates? I don't know. But it is an 8x9 plate. Most of the time we're going to get 8x8 plates. Usually we don't get anything that's in the 9, because you get an 8x8 and you add a 1x8 at the end for your 9. This is not the case. It is an 8x9. And it will throw everything off. I ended up spending probably an extra hour having to take everything apart, and then realizing, oh, this has one more row of studs that I didn't account for, because I assumed it was an 8x8. And I say that because a lot of these don't tell you what the count is. A lot of times you'll get 8x9 or 8x8 on there. This doesn't. It doesn't give you any stud count whatsoever. So you're spending your time stud counting, and it is not the easiest thing. Overall, the parts, though, they feel very, very tight. They actually feel very nice. Let's look at the actual toy. Alright, so we're going to put this up there. We're going to drive in our VW bus, and then we've got our little land piece here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, let's move that out of the way. We'll kind of get just this up there. We'll look at the rest here in a minute. Okay. This whole setup here, it's nice, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it would fit into anything, and we've got a few wave pieces that kind of clutch up. I thought this was like a wave to set your surfboard, but the way the surfboard is created, there's no studs on the bottom. We've got this one little peggable spot here, but it doesn't really peg to anything, so it doesn't feel like it's an actual piece that sits to anything. I mean, I guess you could like peg that onto the bottom, but again, it's all smooth, so it doesn't want to necessarily sit up the right way. Now, again, it feels more Model S than anything else, and I say that in starting with the minifigs. So this comes with 2 minifigs. We've got the guy here, and he's got very, very, very teeny tiny legs. He does have head articulation. He's got shoulder and hands. Then he's got the 2 legs here. The feet are dual molded in that you snap in the feet, so you have different color shoes there for your guy. But he's got kind of a muscular build. You can run your finger over and feel it. And then he's got all this printed on top. And then you've got the lady here. I'll take the suitcase out of her hand. Obviously, same type of legs and same type of shoes, but the arms are different. So the hands are the same. Arms, head, all that is different. You couldn't take this from him and put it on him, put that on her. The heads are actually different sizes. And that's where this starts to feel just a little awkward. And that, yes, she is smaller, I get it, but she feels drastically smaller, like almost like this is a child compared to him. So it is very, very, very different. Of course, she's got molding here that makes her more feminine. All in all, they're okay, and they'll integrate in the city okay, but it just, size-wise, between her and him, it does feel very, very off. Of course, we get that surfboard. It's all printed. Pretty cool. I like the print on it, but having that smooth right there makes it very tough to peg to anything. And the fact that it's only a Technic pinhole and it's not very deep doesn't feel like it's going to hold anything. So with that, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now we get this nice little terrain section here. The tree is super loose. It's not tight at all. And that's kind of a sad thing, because it's like, hey, you've got this chance to tighten these up and make it to where this will pose out and, you know, do something with it. But these are super, 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 super loose. And I know what they're going for. They're kind of going for the way that Lego does their palm trees, but it just doesn't feel very strong. Also, the leaves themselves are done in tries or threes here, which is okay, but it doesn't add a lot of variety and makes the tree feel very, very symmetrical. They've got the umbrella on an antenna, which is okay. I like the detail of the umbrella itself. It is set with a Technic hole, or like a little stud there. So all this feels okay. I would definitely use this. Probably could have used a print on there. I will say that I do love the way that they created the boombox. It's actually pretty cool. I'd actually like to redesign this a little bit to make for a tape deck there, because I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, we get just a little boombox, and that is brick build. Got another chest. We got this cute little cat, and it does have a turnable head. So the head does turn on it. And getting that on is a little interesting. They've got the way they built this fire is kind of interesting. Their lee systems are okay. They've got these interesting curved out 2x6 plates here, or tiles, but they're curved on the end. So getting these back up when you put them on the wrong way is a bit of a challenge. I'll go ahead and tell you that. So you want to make sure you're putting them down the right way. There are some of these really cool spike pieces here that I think would be good for building ruins. I like those quite a bit. Now, let's take a look at the feature of this, because this land is not our feature. This is our actual feature, which is this bus. Now, I put all the extra pieces, because there's quite a few extra pieces. I put them in the back here. But this doesn't have any sort of windows. And this doesn't pop off as like one, two, I think it's what, let's see. Yeah, 6 studs. So it wasn't like a 6 by however many studs this is sort of plate that you could pull off, or have like 2 of these plates or whatever. Instead, it is all done in individual pieces. and tiled on top, which is okay, except when you want to incorporate someone inside, and they actually won't fit inside because of the way that the benches and stuff are made. So if this is going to go in the city, it's just going to kind of go like on the side of the street, because it doesn't have any other way to put minifigs in there. Model wise, so it looks great. There's a lot of really, really solid details in here. A little bit of problems with the clutch power here and there. If you can see, I've got things that are kind of pulling up from just moving it. So again, more than anything, it feels like a model. And I say that also in the fact that they did this where they reversed these tiles so you wouldn't have any anti-studs underneath. And I feel like that's just kind of weird. We do get a bicycle that goes on the back. And again, all these are all printed pieces. Could snap that on there. I guess if you wanted to like plug that in somewhere, you could have her ride the bike. And all in all, this thing does move very, very, very well. Like, it's got a really good sort of like, you know, rolling wheel maneuverability to it. I mean, it's nice in that way. But not the easiest build. And, you know, a little aggravating at times because of the way those directions are set up. So, like I said, I will probably be doing another Cobi set. There's one I had an eye on. I'm kind of into Roman stuff right now because I was wanting to remake some of the Roman-occupied Jerusalem that was around during Jesus' time, and I'm thinking about getting a Roman set to put into that. So it is something. I'm not completely done with this company yet. I'm gonna try it, but this one was kind of interesting. I'll put the link for this down in the show notes, so if you do want to get it, you can get it out of the shop. I do get a small commission on those things. It's not a lot, but it does add up over time. So if you are deciding that, hey, you know what, I'd like to try this and get this, please get it from the shop. It does really help out in the long run. Hey, Rascal. This is my new buddy, Rascal. Hello. Hey, listen, that's all I got to say about this Cobi thing. Honestly, there's a part of me that says I wouldn't suggest this over. I definitely wouldn't suggest this over for a kid. I don't think it's meant for a kid at all. I really do feel like this is going to be kind of older and up, 16 at the minimum, just because some of the building techniques are aggravating as snot. And you're talking about someone who's been building for a very long time. This was a bit aggravating. So really, they need to be moving things in their book and showing you different angles. I think that would help them out quite a bit. Hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications to be alerted. Anything comes from me to you. Like this video, helps YouTube know that you're liking what I'm making, and comment down below. What do you think about this? The van is the key point. It's a very nice looking van, but not quite sold on all of it just yet. As far as a company, I'm not quite there. So, you know, let me hear your thoughts down below, okay? And then, of course, hit up the show notes, get stuff there. All that stuff helps out in the long run. Hey, I thank you all for showing up, and I'm hoping that this is helping you decide on whether you want to get this rather inexpensive set. And that's hopefully this is reaching your ears and helping us make everyone a better budgeted brick builder. I butchered that one, didn't I? Yes, I did. Hey, thank you all for showing up. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build. Happy brick hunting.